my name is Kayaks for Buzzing Graphics, and please subscribe to my channel for updates. So let's begin. I'm creating a composition. Left top menu, go to composition, new composition. You can bring a dialog, or you can come to your left panel here, this icon, and click it and create a composition. Our composition is going to be called main. Its dimensions of 1920 by 1080 pixels. It's going to be 20 seconds, background black. So let's create our composition. Now, before I begin, I first design before I animate. So as you saw the video, it has an image in the background. Let's organize our folder. Let's create a folder and call it images. Let's import our image. And drop it in our images folder, and let's drag the image to the composition. Now I want my image to fit the composition, so I'll go to the timeline below, right click, go transform, and go to fit to comp with it. So it will make my image fit to my composition. Now we are going to create a foreground, a blue foreground, so we are going to use a solid. You can come here on the space here and right click and create new solid, or you can come to layer on your menu, new solid, and we're going to name it foreground. And the color codes for you who need color codes, my color code for blue is that. So let's create our foreground, and it is color blue. So as you can see in the image, we have to reduce the opacity. So to reduce the opacity, you go to your keyboard and press letter T on your keyboard, or you come to the layer, you come to our timeline here, drop down, go to transform, look for opacity, and reduce the opacity to any amount you need to reduce your opacity. Now we have reduced the opacity. Now we are going to first design our text. So we are going to first write, get the text tool. Text tool looks like that on top of your menu, and we are going to type in, it was make. Yes, let's enter our make there. We can increase, we can go to the character tab on your right, and we can increase the font size to whatever you like. Let's duplicate this. Control D on your keyboard to duplicate. We have 3 words, so we are going to duplicate it twice. So here it was make animations. We'll bring our type tool and change this to animations. And we also have simple animations, simple. Bring our type tool and change this to simple. Now you can organize it the way you want. By mine, the animations well, we shall reduce the font type. We shall make it open sans. You can use any, and we shall reduce the font size. Simple shall increase the font, so it's according to how you want to design it. So we shall align simple, and we use the select tool and drag. To align them well, you highlight simple and animations and come to align. As you can see, they've aligned themselves. So we can move it here to whatever you need. Now we are going to create our rectangle. We shall go on the top menu. We are going to select rectangle, and let me try to magnify it. It's there. We're going to create it, and let's create the rectangle the way we need it. You can press the spacebar on your laptop or on your computer to move it to any position that you want to, how big you want to. and we shall call this, let's rename it rectangle. So it's according to how big you want. Let's highlight all the ones we have created, use the selector tool and move them to any position you want. Let me increase the size of make. We go to character. If you can't find these tabs of character, you go to window and select character. So window, character, and let's increase the size of make. Can we put it so we can highlight make and the rectangle? Let's move the rectangle below make, highlight them, go to align and align them the way we want in the middle. So right now we have created our design. Now it's time to animate. Let's start with the rectangle. The rectangle, if your rectangle is not like this, then if it means your fill is turned on. So if you want to remove the space in between, for example here the fill is turned on, you click on the word fill and come and select this one with a stroke red line, and if you want to okay, if you then you press OK. Then if you want to increase the size, you see, of the boundary, you can increase it the way you want from here. So now let's start animating. Now we are going to go to our rectangle and drop down on the rectangle. Go to add. There's a word add on your right. Click on the add and look for trim path. So we have selected trim path. So you can see that I've added it on our section here, trim path. So click on the trim path, drop down, and we have what we call start and end. Start and end is what we are going to use. Now we are going to first reduce our work area for processing, because when you're processing, this may be heavy and your processing becomes slow and you have slow animation. So just reduce the work area. So now let's expand our timeline. Now we're going to go to start. We're going to move here. Let's move it to like 1 second. Yeah, let's move it to like 1 second. Let's start our stopwatches on start and end. So they have created our keyframes. After 1 second, we have moved 1 second ahead. So let's move 1 second back. Now where we want our animation start from is around here on this point here. So now in order for you on this point here, so now we are going to move our digits on start. As you can see, when I move in front, my rectangle is shaping according to the path. Now I moved it to 62. I also go to end and move it backwards. Start was frontwards, this one is backwards, until I bring it to like there where it's not being seen. We don't want it to be seen as we start. So we moved 1 second back. So when I play or when I preview, that my rectangle is moving the way I wanted it, or spacebar on your keyboard. So now, as you can see, our rectangle is not moving at the same time. So we want it to move at the same time. So let's come here and put it like here. We want it to be in the straight line, the same position, up and down. So we shall come to the offset position. As you can see, this offset here, and start moving it so that our rectangle can align to the way we need it. There, it's okay. We can still move our timeline. We can still move our up to here. Let's move up to here. We want it in the middle here. Let's go to offset, and we can move it up to there. It's okay. So as you can see, for when I move back, it's moving to where we need it. So that will be animation. Our rectangle is done. So you move around and you play with the numbers to come out with what you exactly need. Now let's say we are done with that. Now we are going to go to our words. Let's start with make. Now there are simpler ways to animate this one. So this one I'm going to use compositions to animate it. So we are going to pre-compose. Pre-compose make pre-compose. So we have made a pre-compose make. So we go and enter that composition, which is make composition, as you can see it here on the bottom right, bottom left. Now here we only want a specific region of interest. So we are going to use an icon called region of interest. Region of interest. It looks like this. I'm waiting for magnify. It's here. It's called region of interest. So it's what we are going to use. You click on it and look for the region of interest that you need. Now, as you can see here, we need some space between make, the word make, and the rectangle. So when we go back to our composition, we start from like here and look for the region of interest. I want that region of interest. Now the remaining things I do not want, so I come to composition and I trim crop comp to region of interest. As you can see, they have cropped the composition to our region of interest, and from here we can animate our make. So we go 1 second ahead and we go to position. We want position or down, or click on the drop down, go transform, go to position, and let's start our stopwatch, which will create this a key. So we go back one position, or we go back 1 second back, and we move our position. We use the horizontal. This section is for vertical and this one is for horizontal, so we move behind. So when we play our preview, you can see that our make word is coming. So now to have a smooth flow, we have to ease our keyframes, highlight them, right click and go to keyframe assistant and ease. This one makes the flow natural. So as you can see, we have made, so we save. I hadn't yet saved my composition. Shall call it make animations easy, our project. So we go back to our main composition. Sorry, okay, we'll go back to the main composition. As you can see, our make has moved here, but we have to drag it again and put it there. So if I just animate, you can see that my animation is coming out. Now that is done, we should just now go to animations, simple animations, simple, make animation simple, highlight the two simple animations and pre-compose. We are going to call it simple simple animation. That's our composition. Now we have made a composition, same thing that we used to make comp this. Yes, now we click and go inside this composition and get the region of interest using our region of interest icon. As you can see, in our main we need some distance between the rectangle and animation simple. I come to here, I've selected my region of interest, so my region of interest should be around here. Then I go to composition, trim comp to work area. Not trim comp to work area. We crop comp to region of interest. So now we are also going to reduce it. Move 1 second. We're going to animate it, move 1 second in front. Highlight both. If you don't want to, just click P on your keyboard to bring position. So we're going to start our stopwatches, make a keyframe, go 1 second back, move them backwards, and when we play, Let's make a natural flow, highlight them, right click, keyframe assistant is a ease, and made good flow. So when we save and go back to our main, you can see that it has entered there, so we have to move it in front. It's a composition. Let's move it around there. So as you can see, when yes, let's increase our work area. You can see now they are animating at the same time. Now we are going to move them so that they can be nice to look at. So these two, SA and make comp, let's move them in front, and also SA, we move it also, the SA composition in front a little bit. So when we play, you see it's coming too. Now it's moving one after the other, the way we make it in the video. So we can see that they kind of slow. If you want to increase the speed, you come back to the comps, highlight one keyframe, move it closer. You go to the SA composition, so highlight the two keyframes and move them closer. And when we come back to main, you can see that the speed has kind of increased. Let's move this one a bit here, so that when it's closing, when the rectangle is closing, also animation is also coming, you see. So now we have reached where we need to be. Now here we're done. So now we are going to do one more last thing. As you can see, the background image is still, would want it to move a little bit. So we're going to start from here using scale, drop down, transform, go to scale, or press S on your keyboard to bring for you scale. Start the stopwatch, and we go up to the end of our animation, and we increase the scale to whatever you need. So as you can see, my image is moving, but it's moving very fast, so I just have to move and reduce the scale so that at least it moves a little bit slower. Yeah, so yes, now we have made our animation. Let's stream comp to work area. Now that's the final, that's the thing, that's the best. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe my